Hi y'all, today I'm going to show you how to make my gluten-free chocolate chip bundt cake, a Nothing Bundt Cakes copycat recipe. I know they make this cake gluten-free and it's actually really good, but at over 25 bucks for a small 8-inch cake, I knew I could make it better than theirs and at a fraction of the price. So let's get into it and I'll show you how to make it. I wanted to make this in a bowl with no mixer, y'all, so that's what I'm doing here. But just know you can do this in a mixer if you want to. Here I have 1 cup or 226 grams of very soft butter, and I'm adding to that 1.5 cups or 300 grams of brown sugar. And I'm just going to attempt to cream these together with just my spatula. Because this is a bundt cake and it really doesn't require a lot of lift, plus the fact that there are chemical leaveners in this recipe, there's really no need to cream the mixture to a really light and fluffy state. Just combine them together. All right, that looks pretty good, so I'll add in 3 eggs, one at a time. And now I'm going to switch to my whisk because the eggs are lightening up the mixture. It gets lighter and lighter as I add each egg. All right, now I'll add in the sour cream. This is 1.5 cups or 360 grams of sour cream, full fat sour cream. You can substitute with either Greek yogurt or a dairy-free sour cream. And then I'm also adding vanilla extract, which is 1 tablespoon. And I'll just whisk all of this up really well. And now I can add in the final ingredients. I have 2¼ cups or 315 grams of my gluten-free all-purpose flour blend. And then I'll add on top of that 2 teaspoons of baking powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and 3/4 teaspoons of kosher salt. So that's all the dry. And then finally, I have 1.5 cups or 276 grams of mini chocolate chips. Now, personally, I like this cake with less chocolate chips, but my husband likes it with more. So I've given 2 amounts in the written recipe. I myself like less chocolate in my chocolate chip cookies and more of the actual like brown sugary cookie part. But to each his own. He said don't reduce the chocolate chip part, so it's up to you. I personally like it better with less. Okie dokie, that's all I need to do for the batter. So I'll get this into my prepared bundt pan, and how I prepared it, I just brushed really soft butter all over the inside, and then I sprinkled my gluten-free all-purpose flour blend on top of that, and then just swished it around and dumped out the excess. And my oven is preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm going to just grab an offset spatula real quick and smooth the top just a bit. You don't have to get it perfect. It's never going to be exactly perfect. So this is going to bake anywhere from 40 to 50 minutes, depending on the size, the depth of your bundt pan. There are so many different kinds of bundt pans. So this one I believe is a 12 cup. It may only take the lower end of that baking time, the 40 minutes, but I will start checking it at 40 minutes. Okay, here it is out of the oven. Let me grab a skewer real quick and see if this is done. Yep, this is done, so I'm going to leave it to cool in the pan for 45 minutes, and I'll see you back here at that time. All right, this has cooled enough, so let's flip it out onto the cake stand. Oh, I could feel it drop out of the pan. That's always a good sign. And it's so nerve-wracking when you have to flip these out, not knowing if it's going to come out whole or not. I'll let this cool completely before I make the frosting, so I'll see you back here when it's ready. Okay, this frosting is really simple and is a modified version from the brilliant Emma of Emma's Goodies. So check out her amazing channel. I have here 3 8-ounce packages or 680 grams of cold cream cheese. It's so important that it's cold, y'all. And I've got a decorating bag fitted with a 1A round piping tip. And then I have here 9 tablespoons or 127 grams of really soft and spreadable butter. Also very important. And then I have my vanilla. And this is 2 3/4 cups or 343 grams of powdered sugar. So the first thing I'm going to do is beat the cold cream cheese by itself, just until it's nice and smooth. And I'll go ahead and add my vanilla into this too, which is supposed to be 2 tablespoons, but I don't think I have enough left in this jar. Whoops! One of my vanilla beans just fell right in there. Let me fish that out really quick. It's going to get extra vanilla-y. And then I'm going to add half of the powdered sugar and blend this up. And I like to pulse the mixer on and off first so the powdered sugar doesn't go flying everywhere. Now I'll do the same thing with the rest of the powdered sugar before adding in the very soft butter. Emma says she came up with this recipe because she needed cream cheese frosting right away and there was no time to chill it. So by using cold cream cheese and really soft butter, she was able to make a really stiff cream cheese frosting. You know how cream cheese frosting tends to be kind of runny? Well, this one is not at all, and that's why I wanted to use it for the Nothing Bundt Cakes style of decorating. It's perfect. I swear my KitchenAid is on its last legs, but it's probably over 30 years old, so I'm not complaining one bit. It has served me well for a very long time. The next one I get is going to be white, so I won't constantly see all the flour and sugar that's flung onto it. Alrighty, this is done. That's all there is to it. And you can see just how stiff it is. I'll go ahead and start putting this in my prepared piping bag. This can be a little bit difficult because it is so stiff, so just work with it. Let me actually grab a glass so I can prop it up in the glass. I do that quite often when I have a large amount of frosting or whatever I'm piping. Yeah, that's definitely better. And then to make this look like a real Nothing Bundt Cakes cake, you start on the outside and pipe inwards. And then you let the excess just like drop off into that middle hole. I actually watched them piping this on a YouTube video, so I know this is the way they pipe it at Nothing Bundt Cakes. And then the final step is to take like an offset spatula and just go around the middle and kind of push that frosting, like spread it against the sides of the cake. I think they do that because they usually put like a tissue paper flower or something in the middle. I don't know. I've never asked for like a cake with anything on it other than the frosting. And that's all there is to it, y'all. This cake is way, way cheaper than the, like, I think it's $27 that they're wanting for this cake, but it's also 10 times better. It has that brown sugary goodness that like a chocolate chip cookie would have, but in cake form. And that frosting, let me tell ya, that frosting is perfect. It's not overly sweet like most cream cheese frostings are. And it has the most amazing silky smooth texture because of the cold cream cheese. If you're a chocolate chip cookie fan like I am, you have to try this cake, y'all. Enjoy.